What's up, team? It's been quite a while. I've been very busy trying to get my broker launched by July the 1st. Look out for it. It's going to be something out of this world. We're shooting for consistency and long-term platforms that will actually be beneficial for all of us. Might not be presenting the high gains that we see in these high-risk opportunities that we so much like to get in and out of, but will definitely be long-term, and that's what we're shooting for. That's the goal: long-term, steady, consistent, decent profit-making strategies that will help everyone invest wisely and for a lifelong type of a project. Anyway, decided to come on here really quickly and just to brief everyone, because lately I found a couple of people putting me on to these YouTube videos that are running around saying that that I'm the owner of COTPS or me and my daughter, and I guess what happened was they took one of my videos completely out of context. Well, some people don't even know that we had this COTPS group, which is called COTPS International. And so my opening statement was that my daughter owns the COTPS International group and that I was one of the main admins. And so one thing led to another, and a couple of YouTubers used it to recruit a lot of people into COTPS for their own benefit, which is fine. It's all fun and games until the crap hits the fan, right? And so, now it's just a matter of, if we don't know if they're temporarily gone or if they're permanently gone. What I don't want is people thinking that I am the owner or my daughter is the owner of COTPS, because that is not true. First of all, I've been in this game for about 8 years, guys. I started in Forex. And I did a good few years, started trading. Then I moved into providing Forex education. After that, I developed a signal service. And about 3 years ago, we started dabbling in the automated trading department. And so we've created various PAMs, and we've tested many EAs and many algorithms and softwares, and we did get a lot of success. And then we ran into some platforms last year around late August that seemed pretty interesting, and so we started kind of getting into them, noticing that they had a little bit of a referral program and what have you. So it wasn't until mid last year that we started to get involved with platforms that offer HFTs or some decent gain, daily decent gain type of platforms. But they also had like a referral program, and I had definitely accumulated quite the following base throughout the last 8 years. And so, of course, everyone jumped on board and made a lot of money. Of course, we started realizing that some of these platforms were not lasting as long as we wanted them to last, and we kind of got smart really quick on that. And so I started to quickly emphasize to everyone, hey, listen, these type of platforms are high risk, because they have high gains, and so we're not expecting these things to last too long. And I think with COTPS, I began to emphasize strongly, the way to approach these, because it didn't matter the due diligence that we did. They all looked pretty. They all looked the same. They all panned out. They all had a lot of what anyone would look for to make their decisions. And so we couldn't tell after a while the difference between what was authentic and what was not. And so I began to strongly emphasize, hey, listen, guys, it's not about the 500 million billion questions you could ask to make you or convince you to get into a certain platform. because they all look the same and nothing is actually guaranteed in these markets. Call it crypto, call it metals, forex, options, futures, binaries. It doesn't matter. If it pays too good to be true, it probably only lasts, 2 or 3 months, at the most 6. And whatever lasts any longer than that, then they have a good strategy behind it, or it probably is a real authentic long term, and it probably isn't. Regardless of the fact, since nothing is really guaranteed and that's already proven, we have to approach these markets in a strategic way. So it's not about the 100 million billion questions that we could ask, but more about how do we approach these markets. So the best thing to do is try to find things that are on time, which are not as easy to do. So you have a higher risk when you run into something that's been going on for quite a while. After a certain amount of time, of course, it gives you a little confidence because of the stability of it all. But the best thing is to find something that's pretty much just launching, looks as legitimate as possible, has a legitimate strategy behind it. Some of the things are verifiable. Don't look for 100%. You're not going to find nothing that's 100%. And, it just kind of depends on your decision-making appetite on that end, right? So doing your due diligence minimizes the risk. Of course, being on time is a perfect thing. The more on time you are into a platform, well, the more time you'll be able to ride it. So if you can get 2 or 3 good months out of a certain platform, that's amazing, and that's what you should shoot for. The most important thing to me is only invest what you're willing to risk, guys. And that's one of the things that I emphasized a lot. If you guys, those that are even not part of my downline, who didn't even directly sign up under me, know that in all of my YouTube presentations that were even being used by other people that weren't even in my downline to get people on board, I strongly emphasize only invest what you're willing to risk. What does this mean, guys? This is not a casino. This is not like, hey, I'm going to put everything on the line and hope that it goes good, because that's when you get really hurt. I strongly suggest that everyone takes about 10 to 20% at the most of their savings and diversify. Which is one of the other principles. Diversify. Don't ever put all your eggs in one basket, team. What you really want to do is you want to kind of diversify. You want to get 2, 3, 4 different things and use that 20% and kind of spread it out. So you have 80% waiting for you if something goes wrong. And honestly, when things go wrong, that's when the rubber really meets the road. That's when you really know and find out who is actually built to be in this kind of business or not. Because a lot of people over leveraged, they got too confident, they fell in love with the platform, they put more money or didn't take any out. And then, when 2 weeks ago the crypto market crashed, it wasn't only COTPS that was affected. Hundreds of platforms were affected, legit, and those that weren't, and the ones that weren't disappeared quick. And I'm not saying that COTPS is one of them, because their story is that they got hacked by some Chinese hackers and whatnot. I'm neutral, guys. I'm neutral. I've seen too many things to go either toward one end or to the other. So in my personal opinion, if COTPS comes back and they restore our data, and they allow me to pull what I left on the table, which was approximately $1.8 million, I'll be more than happy to pull that baby out, okay? But I'm also prepared that, this is not coincidental, and things is what it is, right? So we just keep it moving. That's my mentality. That's why I only risk what I'm willing to lose. That's why I only invest what I'm willing to lose. And when something like this happens, hey, that was the name of the game. And, it could happen, and unfortunately, the market crash did affect hundreds of platforms. And I've been told so many different names of platforms that either disappeared or are paused or had trouble or got really affected and are doing, trying to hold up. That's part of the game, guys. And so that's why it's so important to only invest what you're willing to risk. And another principle that I always teach and emphasize when I was giving COTPS presentations was make as much money as you can until the wheels fall off, until this thing dies out, or if it gives us more, then keep taking more. But it's very important to keep a good balance in what you allow to grow if it's a compounding platform, right? Or what you pull out. So yeah, you want to, if it's a compounding platform, definitely allow it to grow some, but constantly and frequently be pulling out. But once your initial investment is back in your hands, you're risk-free. It's monopoly money after that, guys. And so it's very important for you guys to understand and know this, because there will be other platforms. There is life past COTPS, guys. Come on, if they do come back, I'm more than willing to get my 1.7 million out of there. I'm with you guys, But if they don't come back, listen, don't stay stuck. Don't stay complacent and depressed and just moping around, because listen, learn from your mistakes. Even though everyone was told over and over and over, it's okay. Sometimes it takes a hard lesson learned, but move on. There is life past COTPS, guys, okay? Understand, lastly, that nothing in these markets are guaranteed. When you're dealing in the financial market, guys, you have to understand that if it's paying good, it's not liable to last that long. And so you have to have that in mind. There are some longer term platforms out there, but they're going to pay you like 0.5% a day and what have you. So it'll take a year to make 100%. And that's completely up to you. What's your appetite for gain making? Are you willing to risk only being 2 or 3 months in a platform and get 200-300% a month? Or are you willing to know for a fact that something's going to last 2 or 3 years and make 0.5% a day, 5 days a week? So you gotta tap into your appetite and what you're willing to risk and how much you're willing to make. And if you are that high risk investor, then these are the principles to follow. If you're more laid back and you're more patient about your things and you want longevity, there are platforms out there that have been out for years, and I know some of them. But like I said, they're only going to pay between 10 and 15% a month. You're going to make 100% in 12 months. And if that's the way you want to approach this thing, then that's fine too. All in all, I just really wanted to come on board and just present myself again to you guys and apologize for being a little bit absent. I've been very busy getting ready for launching my broker, which should be pushing out by or before July 1st. But I wanted to come in and kind of motivate you guys and kind of tell you guys a little bit about all of this that's going on. And like I said, I'm neutral. I'm not, saying that they're gone, and I'm not saying they're not coming back, and I'm not saying, guys, they're coming back, and I'm not, I'm not preaching it up or nothing like that, because honestly, I've seen it all. And so I'm not going to sit here and just bend to one end of these of extremities. I'm just going to stay neutral on that. But I will say I am not the owner of COTPS, so please, YouTubers that put that out there, I understand why you did it. It was all fun and games when you guys posted it. I know you got a lot of attention from it, and good for you. But just know that I am not, and my daughter is not. So please, get that out of your mind. And with the whole situation going on, take my advice for the future, because this is the high risk industry, guys. So without further ado, I just wanted to come back in and just see you guys again, let you guys know a little bit of facts, and give you a few pointers for the future. Don't stay depressed. Don't stay where, guys, listen, I left 1.7 million on the table, and to me, it's monopoly money because I got in not so in time, but I got in on a good time. So I had a good run for 2 or 3 months. It's the risk that we take. I've got into another platform 2 weeks in and it disappeared on me. Hey, it's the name of the game. But when you factor in how long you've been doing this and factor in how much you've made versus what you've lost, we're always going to wind up making more. Whether you have followers or not, it's the same principle. It doesn't matter. So guys, get it out of your head. And for you guys that are hating on me, I know there's a little group out there just straight hating, pulling up mug shots. You guys don't know what you're talking about. I was a millionaire by the age of 25. I started Forex 8 years ago. And you know what? 20 years ago, I made my first, matter of fact, the first year of me becoming a millionaire, I made $5.4 or so million when I was 25, 26. I had a real estate empire. So for all you haters, I love you anyway, because you know what? Bad publicity is better than no publicity, and you guys are just bringing me more business and you can call me a scammer all you want, but listen, what scammer presents his face and is completely transparent, always motivating, always educating, always building people up? You know, you got hurt, had nothing to do with me. Maybe you were watching my videos. Hey, that's not my fault. Or maybe it was just bad timing. But regardless of what it was or what combination of it was, if it was from a previous platform that people are talking about, hey, you know, that one of the things I learned was never to fall in love. And I did fall in love with a previous platform, and I preached it up and I pushed it and I was motivated about it. And at the end of the day, they did me wrong. And that's when I learned not to fall in love with any platform, and that was a hard lesson learned for me. You know, this market is not guaranteed, and no matter how pretty it look, no matter how good the due diligence floats up for you, you still have to approach it the same way, guys. So I give as much good advice, motivate and educate to all my good people that follow me for years, those that are just meeting me this year, and for all those haters who don't even know what they're talking about. I still give you good advice. So nothing, guys. I just wanted to pop up and just let you guys know the real deal. So keep your heads up, keep it moving. You know, there's life after COTPS, and you guys can make it. We all can make it. It's all about being strategic, effective, and wise, making good choices, trying to be on time, and not putting it all on the table. If it's like that, go to the casinos, you know, and Las Vegas, and put it all on the line, because these markets are going to disappoint you if you don't approach them the right way, guys. So God bless you. Love you guys. Mic drop.